We know that the structure of a typical paragraph is that it begins with a topic sentence, which says what the paragraph is about, and the topic sentence is then followed by supporting sentences, which give specific details, examples, information, explanation, and so on. And this could be thought of as a general to specific paragraph. A specific to general paragraph is the reverse. It begins with the specific details, information, examples, and so on, and it ends with a conclusion, which is the topic sentence. Here's an example. From an early age, people speak many times a day, so basic rules of speech are mastered by age 6. People write less than they speak and start later, so rules are often not mastered until adulthood, if ever. Speech relies for meaning in part on context, tone, and body language, so complete sentences don't matter as much. Writing doesn't have these cues. Speech does not require punctuation or spelling. Writing does. In fact, speaking and writing are like two different languages. So you can see looking at this that all of the first sentences give specific information. We have people, I've mastered speech by age 6, not the rules of writing until adulthood. We've got the role of context, tone, and body language. We've got the fact that speech doesn't require punctuation or spelling, but writing does. So that's all specific details and information. The topic sentence, or the conclusion, comes at the end. Speaking and writing are like two different languages. So we have gone from the specific details to the generalization. Now you could, just rearrange this sentence. A little bit of rewriting, let's rework that sentence, and then you could move that to the beginning and make a traditional paragraph. Speaking and writing are like two different languages, from an early age and so on. But sometimes you want a specific to general paragraph instead. You may remember about traditional paragraphs that they may optionally end with a clinching sentence, and although this isn't required, it can tie things together. Now you can do the same thing with a specific to general paragraph, but you do it at the beginning instead. And what you're usually going to add is something like a commonly held belief that isn't the topic sentence, but sort of introduces the central idea. So I've added a sentence like that here. Now the paragraph begins, "Many think if you can speak English, you can write English." Now that's not the topic sentence. The topic sentence is still at the end. Speaking and writing are like two different languages. In fact, I haven't really said very much at the beginning. I've just introduced the central idea of speaking and writing by bringing up this commonly held belief. So, why would anybody do this? Why write a specific to general paragraph? Why would you have the details and information and examples first, and then have the topic at the end, instead of just a normal basic paragraph with the topic sentence at the beginning, which is more common. Well, one reason you might do it is that in some situations it might be more persuasive. Not always, mind you, but sometimes, because it leads the reader through your details to the conclusion or point you want to make. So, for example, let's say that you're analyzing a problem in the workplace and you're going to write about it, and you might, in order to convince your reader of your interpretation, say, well, there's this fact, and there's this fact, and there's this fact, and all of these are indicative of this particular problem or situation. So you're getting your reader to follow you along and say, here are the facts and here's what they prove. Okay, convincing. Another reason that you might write this type of paragraph is that it can create suspense. So sometimes, but not always, you might want the reader to go through a series of details, wondering what the paragraph is talking about, which is revealed in the final sentence.